While Donald Trump's poll numbers have been falling, last week was also a tough week for Hillary Clinton, who continued to stumble over questions surrounding her handling of emails while she was Secretary of State. But Clinton has been able to leverage endorsements from prominent Republicans, including former National Security Advisor Brent Scowcroft and Hewlett-Packard CEO Meg Whitman. And former Minnesota Governor Arne Carlson was on MSNBC this week explaining why he is endorsing Hillary Clinton. And joining us right now is the former Minnesota Governor, Arne Carlson. Thank you so much, Governor Carlson, for coming on.
Thank you.
And obviously you are a Republican, remain a Republican. Why are you voting for Hillary Clinton?
Well, what I want us to do is to look at next January. Regardless of who wins, the country is going to be fractured. It's going to be very difficult for any president to govern. And what I like about Hillary Clinton is the fact that she really works well with others. Even Republicans in the Senate acknowledge that. And that's not Donald Trump's strong suit by a long shot. And I think what she needs to do is, frankly, bring in some prominent Republicans. I'm thinking specifically of Mitt Romney and Pete Peterson to work on the deficit and the budget and reform the budget. Start to create some blue ribbon task force. Bring Republicans in, bring Democrats in, and have them serve as a policy buffer between the White House and Congress. And that way you come into Congress not just with a partisan plan, but with a bipartisan plan and tremendous buy-in, if you will, from the American people. And I think she has the capacity to do that. She loves public policy.
All right. Governor Carlson, I talked about this with Chris Fields, the deputy chair of the party. The last candidate to win a statewide election, Tim Pawlenty, or re-election, 2006.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Going back, the person before that to win re-election in a big way. You, in 1994, that was 22 years ago.
Yeah.
You have been very critical of the Republican Party going back decades.
Absolutely.
What are they doing to not win these statewide races?
Well, the core principles of the old Republican Party that I remember laid out, if you will, I'm going way back now, by Dwight Eisenhower on the national scene, Elmer Anderson more on the local scene, was one, to be prudent in the area of finances, balance budgets, make choices, set priorities. And two, stay out of people's personal lives. And try to build bipartisan coalitions, focus on goals. And frankly, that's what built Minnesota. It really did. We had outstanding Democrats, outstanding Republicans, and it was focused on a build Minnesota theme. The Republican Party, starting in the late 1970s, started to move to the right, and then more to the right, and more to the right, to the point that they were telling the moderates of the party to get out. I think a couple of years ago, they officially said that Al Quie, Dave Durnberger, and Arne Carlson are no longer welcome. Well, those were three of you statewide winners.
Do you think there can still be a Republican Party that embraces your kind of Republican Party?
Oh, I think if the Trump election does not work out, my guess is that the Republican Party will rebuild, and rebuild more around the lines of, can we agree on public policy? I thought Vin Weber did a very good job on national television the other day when he announced why he could not support Donald Trump. But he mentioned that some of the core principles of the Republican Party was internationalism, i.e. NATO, but also the trade deals, which now Trump has completely said he will disassemble. And the third part was, and Ben didn't talk about this, but it's my part.
The highly respected former Minnesota Congressman,
very well
very
respected,
prominent Republican operative.
Republicans should respect the privacy of citizens, and they're constantly invading the bedroom and telling people how to behave in the bedroom, and paying a lot less attention to how you start to grow the economy and do it in a very prudent, sensible way. They've gotten away from their core message.
Let me ask you, you obviously are still a very well-known figure. What is the response you get, I mean, from people, you know, the Republicans or Democrats or independents, because people know where you stand?
The response has been surprisingly favorable. But on the other hand, Minnesotans are fundamentally nice people, so they're not going to come up to you in the street and punch you in the nose because they disagree with you.
Okay. Well, Minnesota Governor Arne Carlson, it's always a pleasure. Great to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in.
A delight. Thank you.
Absolutely.